Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, Bitcoin is coming back. So hell hasn't broken loose. A lot of people were very, very negative this morning. But you know what? Like I said, Bitcoin will do its thing. It's stronger than it appears. And things are looking much better. And altcoins are looking much better. But in this stream, I want to talk about 5 bargain altcoins. Some that I've talked about before, but I promise you there's one that's pretty new that a lot of you guys is not aware of. So I'm going to talk about 5 bargain altcoins because they have sold off quite a bit within the last week or so. And I do think they're fantastic projects. They're definitely worth looking at. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. 2 streams every day, 11 a.m., 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I have not put an Instagram logo on my screen yet, but follow me on Instagram for short snippet videos, which you guys maybe enjoy. So let's do this. For those of you guys that's already in the chat, welcome, and boom. All right. So Bitcoin is at 52,300, a little bit better this morning. It was about 51. It hit 50,000. And I heard that a lot of other, YouTubers, influencers were very, very negative and saying that all things, everything was going to collapse and this and that. We're going to go back to the 40s, whatever. You know what? And this morning, I kind of showed you guys how there's really nothing to fear. In fact, in March, we are still up more than 10%. And if you look at the start of 2021, Bitcoin is having a terrific start. In fact, the best start since 2013. This is even a greater start in 2017. So there's absolutely nothing to fear at this point. Nothing to fear, especially considering the fact that Bitcoin is still up above $50,000. It's just really ridiculous. But anyways, if you didn't check out my my stream for this morning, you should really do so. I made some good, compelling points of why you should not be panicking. But that is not the point of today's video or tonight's video. That is all about altcoins, and five specifically that have sold off a little bit, but they're fantastic projects. And I do think when everything comes back up, these altcoins are going to be very, very, very strong. So you don't want to miss them. So before I get to that, let me scroll all the way back up to CMC, to the top of CMC. And right now, look at BTC dominance, man. BTC dominance continues to go down. This is what I'm talking about. We're definitely in altcoin season. And it definitely pays to be diversified. Because look at BTC dominance, down to 59.3%. All right? That is really, really low. About to break even below 59%. And my portfolio, because I'm diversified using that 50-25-25 rule, the BTC value of my entire portfolio has actually gone up. Even though the fiat went down, that's okay. But when I'm looking at the overall value of my portfolio in terms of BTC, it actually went up. And that's what you want. What you want is to increase your BTC. That is the #1 rule in my book. And a lot of people don't quite understand that. They only look at dollar value. But no, you want to look at things in BTC value, because BTC is going up, dollar's going down. You really want to increase the BTC value of your portfolio rather than worry so much about fiat, because that's the wrong way to do it, in my opinion. And I'll give you an example, because someone asked me this. Someone asked me this earlier today, and I think a lot of you guys could relate. Yeah, there's a spammer in my chat. Okay, good. Delete it. Here's a good example. Let's say you bought, let's go back here. Let's say you bought $50,000 worth of Bitcoin. You bought one Bitcoin at $50,000. That's where it's at, okay? So you have one BTC worth $50,000. Now, if you think Bitcoin's going to go down, right? So you may be tempted to say, hey, I'm going to sell it off. So if Bitcoin goes down to 45 or 40, I'm going to rebuy that. But what if it doesn't? What if Bitcoin goes up to 55,000? Now you're forced to buy back. And that's worse, because now you own less than 1 Bitcoin. Now you probably own 0.9 Bitcoin or 0.8 Bitcoin, depending on how high Bitcoin goes. So your Bitcoin allocation actually shrunk, and that's horrible. But what about the reverse? What about if you're just at 50,000, you're like, okay, if Bitcoin's gonna go down, I'm just gonna keep it. Bitcoin does go down to 45,000, but it comes back up. No matter what, it goes down or up more or down more, you always have one BTC at least. So that BTC value doesn't change. Versus the flip side, if you guess wrong and you have to buy it back at a higher price, so guess what? Now your BTC value is actually lower than had you just held, right? So think about it in that, and if you could think about it in that way, like that perspective, this is why it really good to be diversified right now, because you want to increase your BTC value as much as you can at this point, because that's the end game, is to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. And one way to do so is with altcoins. All right, so I kind of went off on a tangent, but hopefully that made some sense to you guys. All right, let's go number one. And oh, by the way, I'm not going to cover the 4 that I already talked about earlier this week, okay? You guys know I'm a big fan of VeChain, big fan of Binance Coin and Theta, and I've named one other one. I forgot which one it was, but I'm not going to rename those, so I'm not going to rehash it. But this is not the end all be all list. There's a lot of great, fantastic altcoins, but I'm looking at the ones that have come down quite a bit. And by the way, look at Theta. I said pick up Theta on weakness. It's up a staggering 20% today. So yeah, that would have been a good move. But anyways, moving down the list. Number 1 is Terra. I got to talk about Terra because they were just like Theta, neck and neck, kept going up and up and up and up. And I said they're going to be a big cap. They're not quite there yet because they had some weakness and pulled back. But I do think Terra is a fantastic project. And at this level, I think it's definitely a bargain. So what is Terra real quick? Terra is actually a stablecoin maker. It doesn't sound very sexy, a stablecoin maker, like, okay, just look at USDC, USDT. That doesn't sound very good, right? But they're way more than that. They're about building dApps that actually utilize their many stable coins. They already have one that's based in South Korea, which is like a rewards kind of program app that's very popular, that already utilizes one of their Korean stable coins, but they also have a US-based stablecoin, Terra.USD, and they create apps. They keep creating apps for it. So some of you guys may know of Mirror. Mirror is actually an app they created. Also, Anchor Protocol is an app they created. They both have their own tokens, but they're in the very hot DeFi sector. Mirror is about tokenizing, creating synthetic assets, and Mirror allows you to do that. You got to have Terra to be able to do that. And Anchor is a money maker. So basically, you can stake and also you can borrow, right? And this is all based on the Terra USD. So they're creating a lot. They're creating a lot of dApps that actually give real use for their stable coins. And plus, they're already big in South Korea, and they're building more on top of this. So in terms of a stablecoin maker, I think by far they are the most exciting. They're not just creating one like USDC, USDT, where you're just parking your money into and you can transfer between exchanges. That is actually not the purpose at all. That's not the purpose of their stable coins. This is building more like a e-commerce kind of ecosystem with their stable coins. So that is why Terra has been on absolute tear, going from sub 1 billion to where it is now, basically at 7 billion. They were even a little bit higher, right at $8 billion. I do think once the market turns up in a big way, Terra will go up in a big way too. So that's number 1, Terra. All right, moving down the list, I gotta point out Cosmos, because they are down substantially, 17% for this week. And there's really no reason why they should be down 17%. So what is Cosmos? Well, Cosmos is basically a vast number of chains. It's an ecosystem of chains. And you know what? Because of the new Stargate bridge, all these chains can now talk to each other. So it's basically like the stars. Yeah, you have all these separate ecosystems, but they now could all talk to each other. And what's amazing is the Cosmos SDK, which is, you know, their code base that you can use to build your wallet or your blockchain. It is massive. I don't think people realize how massive this project is. So looking at their Cosmos network, and you'll recognize a lot of projects, even new ones like Akash Network, a cloud-based, a decentralized cloud service. You also have Anchor, okay? I just talked about Anchor Protocol from Terra. These are all made with the Cosmos SDK. Same thing with Band Protocol. Binance changes DEX, Binance Smart Chain, you have a BiDAO, and you have a lot more. Look at all this. You have hundreds of blockchains that were all created with the Cosmos SDK. Now, whether or not they choose to all talk to each other, that's a different story, but it shows you how big Cosmos really is. People just don't pay attention to it, and a lot of these projects don't like to talk about how they were built using Cosmos SDK and possibly using Tendermint as their consensus algorithm. But still, yeah, this is a big project and a very widely used SDK. So I don't think Cosmos will go away anytime soon. Their blockchain is fast, interoperable, and you know what? A lot of people are using them. So Cosmos, I think, is also a very good pickup at this point. They've been underperforming a little bit, but I do think they could come back in a big way, especially now with blockchains being so hot. All right, now moving down the list, going down a little bit, just a little bit. I want to stop by at Chiliz. Chiliz is down a staggering 20%. That is actually pretty big, although they have come up like 10x within a very short amount of time. I think when I got introduced to Chiliz, they were at around 200 million. So actually more than 10x. So I think maybe like 12, 13, 15x, right? So coming down 20% isn't that bad. It doesn't sound that bad considering that it went up over 1,000%. But what is Chiliz? Well, they're kind of NFT, kind of not. They're in the business of creating tokens, fan tokens for football clubs around the world. And they already have a lot of clubs signed up. A lot of people are utilizing them. And they're branching out to the United States. Rumors are they're tying to the NFL, right? They're branching out to motorsports. They have a good relationship with actually Animoca brands, with their Rev token, which is also tradable. And you know what? They're still expanding. You know, I really like this. And they haven't even gone into NFTs yet. They're more about tokenizing at this point. But I do think that, you know, sports being so big as it is, and them keep expanding, I think it's just a matter of time they pretty much sign everyone up, right? So I think Chiliz is still, that's a really good project, despite the fact they're already at 3 billion, but they were much higher before. I think at one point in time they hit about 5 billion or even 6 billion, and they could definitely come back in a big way, especially since they're down 20%. Now, the next project, the one right, actually, I don't think a lot of people noticed this or knew this. The next one is Enjin, and there is a relationship. Chiliz, all these tokens that they have created for these fan clubs is based on Enjin. So I don't think a lot of people know that. They utilize Enjin and their blockchain and their tokenization mechanism to create all those fan-based tokens. So Enjin is definitely a really good project. I really like them. They've been around forever. They have a good universal wallet. They have a partnership with Samsung, and they're all about NFTs. All about NFTs. And I didn't even know this. Enjin wallet support. Okay, they just added Polkadot and Kusama into their universal wallet. Great. But they have a huge NFT marketplace, all for games, and they're coming out their own layer 2 solution, so people don't have to worry about Ethereum scaling, and they're coming out with a brand new chain after that too. So they're really on top of things right now. So Enjin, they have been doing really well. They took a breather recently, but still, I think they're going to come back in full force. All right, so those are 4 that I've covered before. Some of you guys may have heard me talk about or not. I'm going to talk about a 5th one that I have not talked about in such a long time. So I'm pretty sure this is new for a lot of you guys. And it is a decentralized storage play. And no, it's not Filecoin. No, it's not storage. No, it's not Sidecoin. So it's a project that not a lot of people is aware of or talk about. And they're further down the list at number 96, and they're actually doing pretty well today. And that's Arweave. Arweave, they're up 25% this week, up 9% today. So you may be wondering, why is this a bargain? Well, look at where someone like Filecoin is, okay? In the billions. And look at Sidecoin and look at storage. All of them have pumped up tremendously, but not a lot of people is talking about Arweave. And you know what? They're really not a decentralized storage play, but they could definitely be used for that. Arweave's whole mission is to create a permaweb, basically to permanently store the entire internet. That is their mission, which is going to take a very, very long time. I think Google said it takes 300 years to index all of the pages out there, and that's probably increasing because there's so many new pages. But that's what their original mission was, to basically build an entire archive of the entire internet so that it's immutable, unchangeable, it's decentralized, right? And they partner up with Internet Archive, who is the organization behind the Wayback Machine that some of you guys are familiar with. So they partnered up with them and started archiving everything. But for them to be able to archive everything, they have to have a really robust storage system. And that is also what they're known for. And they have also a lot of open source apps that people are creating. So here's one for profit sharing, is a web archive, right? Ardrive, Getopia, Argo, and they have a mail system, and all open source. And here's another thing I didn't know until recently. The very, very popular blockchain, Solana, also utilizes Arweave for storage. Solana actually decided not to build their own storage file system or utilize like IPFS. They're actually using Arweave for their storage. So any dApp that's on top of Solana basically using Arweave for storage. So that is a big, big thing. I didn't know that until recently. Someone pointed that out. So Arweave also for storage, I think they could be huge. I think they have big potential, and they could definitely go up much higher than where it is now. All right. So those are the 5 projects, five altcoins that I think is a bargain right now. They're underperforming. They're fantastic projects, and I think they could go right back up, much higher than where they are now. All right, now before I get into Q&A, there's a few things I want to announce or cover. Number 1, I saw Charles Hoskinson tweeted this out saying, "God, the live stream chat is brain dead. You guys make me sad." As a leader of a project, I really don't think this is good PR. I really don't think you should call your followers brain dead and that they make you sad. You know, I get it, being that I see the live chat all the time. I get that there's shillers in here, spammers in here, people that only care about pumps, right? I get it. But still, there's a lot of people in the chat that really want to learn, asking you questions. Maybe there's a language barrier. I don't know. This is not a good look. So someone like Charles, he should not be tweeting this out, or he should be deleting this. And then lastly, I did want to mention that I reached out to Meet Kevin. So they reached back and said, yeah, I'd love to have you on the show. So I will be live on his show 2 o'clock this Saturday, Central Standard Time. So if you guys can make it, do so. We're going to talk all about Bitcoin and crypto. And, you know, someone pointed out that, yeah, he's not really, like, he has his own agenda or plans about how there could be a complete collapse. He's also not sold on DeFi. So hopefully I'm going to rewatch some of his videos and see what his thoughts are. And hopefully we can get that straightened out. So that's pretty big. Hopefully I draw a lot of views and subscribers from being on his show. All right. That's pretty much it. I'll turn to you guys. Okay, I have not. What's I know what it is. I know the premise. It's a new ID service that's a layer 2 solution that's built on Bitcoin network. So interesting. But I don't know more than that. If there's official partnerships already, or companies that's go use it. So I have to do more into that. What I feel about Flexa? Yes, once the economy opens up, I think that's a no-brainer. When no one's out utilizing the Flexa app, then no one's gonna be using it. Basically, is Anchor a good project or good bet since they're associated with Atom? Anchor is basically, it helps you create nodes of all these projects, and it's a one-click setup basically, and you're paying a storage fee. So rather than try to create your own node on your computer or on AWS or something, they'll do it for you. So I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, but it's not that unique, I guess. It's just they're making it really simple. That's it. Bitcoin below 49,000 before. If it does, it'll be like really fast, but I don't think so. And I don't know why, Dusty, you keep super chatting that as if you want that to come just by super chatting. No. OPCT, opacity. I have looked at this before. They rebranded. I think they're probably not gonna come back, but they used to be another project. I forgot the name, and that leader did an exit scam and hauled away a whole lot of coins. So they had to rebrand. The rest of the team rebranded to opacity. So I don't know if they're gonna come back. Matt, have you heard about RaidX? Yes. Why does everyone keep asking about it? Is someone like shilling that? Like every single stream, someone's asking about RaidX. I can't tell you too much about it because I haven't done enough research into it. It does look like a promising blockchain, but I can't tell you any more than that. I'm not a fan of Pain. I think it's too overhyped. It's Mural, but I think it's too overhyped. I did not catch a 360 update, and I heard people that did were bored out of their mind, which is why maybe Charles tweeted what he did. I don't know, but I think Cardano's gonna be fine. I think too many people wanted to keep pumping up. People forget that Cardano pumped up quite a bit recently. So after their Mary hard fork, or not Mary hard fork, but after the Coinbase edition, it did pump and then it stopped. But the fact that it didn't dump is a good thing. But too many people have high expectations, wanted to go higher and higher and higher, but that's not realistic. I'm not a fan of BitTorrent because I don't really trust Tron right now. Any update on LMT listing? No, you just gotta wait. It'll be listed. They need to get some stuff rolling, but just wait. Thoughts on Anchor for next few weeks? I don't know what's coming in next few weeks. I don't know what's coming for Anchor for next 2 weeks. I mean, overall, as a project, I think it's useful. It's useful if you want to spin up your own nodes. You could do it on Anchor very easily, but it's not free. They charge you, and you could pay with Anchor tokens or others. But yeah, it's I guess it's good, but not very exciting. Yield app on 20%. I bought a bunch on Dip. Well, you do have to buy their yield token too. That's how it works, right? And then they actually invest that money. So that's how you get a high yield. So from people that say they use it, they say good things about it. Cake is the best. I love that sweet cake. Well, PancakeSwap is doing good. I'm glad to see it come up. It's like the only Binance Smart Chain project that's really moving. I clicked on the wrong one, but yeah, I mean, they're the biggest AMM on Binance Smart Chain. They're not gonna go away anytime soon. So I do like Terra Virtua. NFT play. They have movie studios. They have Legendary signed up so that this new movie Godzilla vs Kong, they're able to come out NFTs with it. But I think they're going to expand from there. And they have Terra Virtual also. They made relationships, I believe, with OpenSea and others so that their NFTs could be sold in other marketplaces. So I like the project. Stephen Nagel says Circuit of Value just published new code. Check their Twitter. I'm not a code guy, so whether or not they publish new code doesn't matter to me. But I like the premise. I like the fact that you can tokenize pretty much anything, like a pool of NFTs, pool of tokens, and you can trade it within a single token. So I like the premise, but I do hear that it gets pump and dump quite a bit. And it's not on good exchanges right now. So this is Living asks about Polka City and Vortex. I don't think Vortex is a hidden secret anymore. A lot of people's asking about it. I don't know what Polka City is, but it's something with Polkadot. Earn profits by owning virtual taxis. I have seen this before. It seems silly to me. Well, I shouldn't say that. This is like a virtual world kind of thing. But why virtual taxis and gas stations? I guess I don't get the premise of that. Polka City could be, why not buildings? Why not restaurants and offices? Why is it taxis and gas stations? But anyways, I guess it's some kind of, kind of virtual world. I don't know if it could catch on. There's already Decentraland and Sandbox, which is really like tokenizing everything. So I don't know. DT, appreciate it. Darren, thanks for your advice to hold on DCA. Appreciate that. Say hi to your daughter, Leah. Hey, Leah. Byte. Relatively small. They're on Binance. Bring every blockchain in a multi-chain future. We believe in a future where many blockchains will grow to serve different needs. Easy transfer of data and assets between blockchains will become increasingly important. Okay. So they're going to create a bridge that crosses all chains. That's kind of hard to believe. Stablecoin cross-chain exchange. Instant cross-chain transfer. Allow assets to utilize cross-chain. Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit too ambitious. If they could get it done, great, but that sounds a little bit too ambitious. Tovar, appreciate that. PTOY. Patientory, I'm guessing this is in healthcare. Too small, too early. You know what? Are you on my Instagram? Because someone just sent me to look at Bolt, and I looked at it, and I'm not very impressed with it. It's like a streaming platform. It's basically they're trying to create a mobile streaming platform, but there's no leadership listed. You have no idea, and in terms of traction, they seem to be limited. So, yeah. So I don't find it very attractive at this point. LTO Network is fantastic. I love LTO Network. They're a blockchain, hybrid blockchain, public and private chains, and the way they're set up, they're fully compliant with all the laws and regulations out there, and they're really concentrating on KYC with DeFi that's coming up, and they have a whole lot. I really like LTO. I did an interview, so I'm going to release that interview next week, so stay tuned for that. Versa City. Or Vera City. You mean Vera City? So you spelled it wrong. I'm still not sold on it. So it's like a plugin, that's supposed to verify accounts. maybe I just don't understand enough, but I looked at it, I was not that impressed, to be honest. G-Fay, appreciate that. Elf, oh, it's been a while someone asked me that. I forgot what Elf does. I think are they decentralized storage? I know they were incubated on nulls. No, they're cloud computing. Cloud computing. Okay. Cross-chain compatible. Many change. Okay. Doesn't sound bad. Doesn't sound bad. I don't know too much about the team, but I know they were big when they were coming out of nulls. Speaking of nulls, nulls was above $1 and then came back down. But I think nulls has to really grow, and then I think a lot of these incubated projects will catch on. I have looked in Origin Trail, not deeply. I know they're in supply chain space, but honestly, I like VeChain better. I like VeChain a lot better than any other supply chain space, blockchains. Reef has a lot of stuff coming. I don't know. I haven't done a deep dive on Reef because there's just too many people that shill it, and I don't like what happened with Almeida, where they botched that OTC sale. I don't know what happened, so that was not good. That was not good. Telcoin is in remittance, so they have been growing. They have been growing. I think Limbo is a pretty interesting. I cover Limbo. I covered Animoca Brands. That's why people don't realize Animoca Brands is huge. They bought Limbo, and they're turning into one gigantic NFT play, and that's only one project among others. But I think it has potential. Same thing with Rev. Same thing with Sandbox. And they have other Tower and Gamey, and they have so much. Algorand, I don't really have any thoughts on Algorand. Origin Protocol is awesome. I am George says meet Kevin is a phony. Why? I think he's good. What's wrong? Gemstone is a new project. The Gemstone. Task-based NFTs, digital collectible, okay. What kind of task do you need to perform? Yeah, it doesn't sound very appealing to me. Marvel Artists. NFT Wars. It's a pretty creative name. They're not gonna be done until May. I can't say anything about it until it's done. KGO. Man, these are all like shit coins, man. You guys have any questions about non-shit coins? Dean says Clever has leadership issues as a scam. Have I heard? No. What kind of leadership issues? I mean, it seems like they were a legit team. Did something come out? Elron is also good. I'm surprised by Elron. Elron got really cold. They were really, really hot. Now they're really cold. I don't know why. They're all over the place. They have a ton of partnerships everywhere. Pundi seems to be there's a lot of things coming. That's why there's a lot of excitement about it. So They could be good. Benchmark, stablecoin, somewhat, something like that. I don't know. So. I wasn't really interested in it. Hathor is one that I'm meaning to look at because it did look interesting at face value. I have to look into it. I have a whole list of things to look at. Jeffrey asked about Orion. Orion was actually one of the ones I was going to cover today. But they actually haven't been doing that bad. But Orion does have a new terminal coming out, new trading platform that aggregates DEXs and centralized exchanges, and they're utilizing a lot of chains. So I think Orion is a good one, definitely a good one. But I don't think they're down that much. Matter, antimatter. I think I looked at this, didn't get it at all. Lightweight on-chain DeFi derivative protocol. I don't know. I'm not a big derivatives guy. I just feel like too many noobs don't know what it is and don't know how to use it, and it just wrecks people. So I'll just say it's okay. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna let you guys go. Overall, Bitcoin is hanging in there. A lot of people are predicting, the worst, but you know what? I see things. I see for things as they are. Bitcoin is above 50,000. No reason to be panicking. It's having a fantastic March. It's having a fantastic year. And besides all these fantastic things, I've showed all the data. Whales continue to buy behind the scenes. They still keep continuing to hoard and hodl while retail investors are panicking for no reason. And also, another thing that you're seeing is altcoins are holding strong, which shows that retail investors have really strong diamond hands and they're picking up whenever they can, which is why altcoins are actually gaining on Bitcoin, which is really wild, right? Really wild, but that's the new reality. That's why having a diversified portfolio and basically dollar cost averaging and holding, that's the only strategy you need to worry about, and it definitely works. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Futures expiration in the morning, right around 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, right? I know there's like a big options expiration too. I don't know what time that is, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. There could be some explosiveness or maybe nothing, right? The last time I showed you guys in January when something like this happened, nothing really happened on the weekend until, the new week started. So it could be something similar. We'll just have to see. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and tune in tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, guys, take care.